Hey, and welcome back to UC. I started work extra early today so I could bring you guys this breaking news as early as possible. Arcade1up has the Infinity Table soft launched for early bird pricing, as it's called, on Kickstarter. And it looks like, as of this recording, they pretty much hit their goal. This is going to go up while I'm talking. I'm sure they're going to hit this goal by the time I'm done recording. $50,000 is a small goal. I guess these guys just didn't want to take any risk at missing it, but I mean, they're going to raise a lot more money than that. And 50 grand is chump change to this company. At the end of the day, they're still kind of a small business, but 50 grand is not a lot of money for these guys. So let's look at the Kickstarter, but this is their official page at arcade1up.com. And they do invite you to back them on Kickstarter. One of the questions I've had on this product, other than just where am I going to put it, is the quality of this monitor. So it's a pretty big monitor to be touchscreen and keep cost reasonably low. And we'll look at the Kickstarter and see what the cost came in at. Hopefully they have discounted options to actually buy the table ahead of time, which I think they do. Mentioned the early bird purchase discounts. So we should figure out pricing in this video. But I've just wondered, is this monitor going to be good quality? Because if you guys know anything about LCD displays, the low quality ones have what's called small viewing angles. Meaning you really need to be looking at it straight on or close to straight on to get a good image quality without it looking all washed out. Well, with a table like this, with everyone gathered around it, looking at it from all different angles, maybe sitting a couple feet back, those viewing angles suddenly become really, really important. Like in a PC monitor, it's not a big deal. You're looking straight on like I am now. But with something like this, you do need good viewing angles, and I'm hoping they have a good monitor to do that. I'm just thinking that isn't feasible because that would push the price up quite a bit. The other thing is, obviously, this isn't going to be for everyone, right? So this channel, we mostly cover home arcade products, and this isn't a home arcade product, but I'm sure a lot of you do play board games. I occasionally dabble in board games. Probably my favorite is Ticket to Ride, but I'm real casual board gamer. I'm not super heavy into this stuff. But maybe that's who this is aimed at, because if you're really heavy into it, you probably want the real games. But if you're a casual gamer and you can pick one of these up with a lot of different games, it might be for you. The other thing, I know some people out there are wondering, why are these guys going to Kickstarter? These guys have the money to do it. What are they doing on Kickstarter? And look, you could see this. It just hit 50 grand. I knew it would. Well, there are a lot of reasons you might go to Kickstarter. iArcade did it. I don't think they got a lot of criticism for it. Now, that was a new company, so it's a little different. But this is a way to engage with early fans and get their support, really give them a chance to feel like they're buying into the brand. So this can be a marketing exercise. I read somebody, it might have been, I don't know if it was on Reddit or Facebook. I apologize, I can't remember who it was. But they had what I thought was a really insightful comment. They said a lot of board game fans are on Kickstarter because new board games do get kickstarted on here. So this would be a good place to just market to them. And that might explain why this number is so small. They don't really care how successful. I mean, they care, but they're not looking to this number to decide if they launch the product or not. The other thing is it's just a way to test the product out and get interest. And why would you want to do that? Well, there are a couple reasons. One, you might need to get interest so that game makers will license their games to you. That was a big goal for iArcade, and it was largely successful. But the other reason, and Arcade1up's not going to have that problem, probably, they can probably get the licenses, but they might have an issue getting retailers to pick up the tables. And I've not talked about this much on my videos lately, but it has been something in the back of my mind. There's more competition than ever for shelf space. There are people behind the scenes with other home arcade companies that you've heard of, I've done reviews for, that are looking to get a lot of this shelf space this year in Walmart and beyond. And Arcade1up's never had to compete with that. They've always had it to themselves. So if you go back to those retailers and say, hey, give me more shelf space, we're going to launch some new arcades. And also give me some more shelf space, we're going to launch a new shooting cabinet. And also give us some more shelf space, we're going to do this games table. That might be a tough sell. I have no inside information on that. I'm simply speculating. But that could be a challenge. Eventually, you run out of shelf space. But if they can say, look, Kickstarter's all over this, look how successful it was, then maybe retailers are going to chomp at the bit to pick it up. Simply speculation, but I do wonder if that's not part of it. All right, let's look at some of these specs. So 1 to 6 players. Play on your own, so that's cool. So they're going to have like an AI that you play against. not bad. People don't always have a big group. I've read a lot of the comments about the 4-player Arcade1ups, funny enough, that, hey, when am I ever going to have 3 other people over to play this specific retro game? And that's a good point. So here, hopefully you can fill in, even if, let's say you do have 2 or 3 people, but you want to play a 6-player game, hopefully that's possible. I know Mario Party gets a lot of mileage out of that. Wi-Fi enabled, of course, since you are able to play online. Download endless games. So 50 plus games, and I don't know if we'll keep reading and see. I don't think all 50 come with it, but you can download more games. I think that's good news. I can't for the life of me fathom why they would launch an online DLC system with this table and not do it with other cabinets. I mean, some of you guys might think I'm crazy begging for DLC, right? DLC sucks. Why do we want that? I'll tell you why we want that. Last night I did my first impressions on the Golden Axe cabinet, and I really like the cabinet, actually quite a bit. I'm going to have a full review for you, but it's a nice product. It really is. And Code Mystics, once again, did a really good job. Even little things like the menu graphics look great. The games lineup is very good, but there are variants of Golden Axe that aren't included in that cabinet. I don't understand why I can't go and pay $10 and download those extra games that I might want and add it to it. Arcade1up's getting in on that with this Infinity table. Why can't they bring it to us with the mainline home arcade products? And it makes me wonder if this table is something they've kind of licensed from somebody else. Like this is an existing design with existing software for it. I know there are other products on the market that are available. I know there's a big made in China market for game tables. I don't know a lot about those products, but it makes you wonder if this is kind of a rebadged version of that. So let's see, here's a shot of the screen. Looks good, but I think it's just a render. Tactile feedback, that's nice. So haptic feedback, that's always helpful when you're dealing with a large touchscreen. Wi-Fi enabled, we knew that. Download endless games, we knew that. Coloring books, we knew. It's going to have a really high quality touchscreen for coloring books to make sense. No monthly subscriptions or hourly fee required, so kind of shots fired at AtGames. Although we're all still waiting on AtGames to actually unveil those fees, they continue to offer those services for free too. We aren't just making a digital board game version of these games, we're adding layers of immersion through 3D animation and graphics. So that's the same approach Arcade1up has taken with Pinball. They want to make it a digital native product, which some people are going to really like that, and other people just want the classic games. Ideally, you'd have both. Ideally, if they're going to spend the time to build all this, that would be the default. That would be the default mode, but then you also could do a classic mode and just play the simple game as it was. There'll always be people that want that. Through dynamic zoom, the game interacts with you, so you can imagine you land on Boardwalk and Monopoly, and I think the view kind of zooms in on where you're landing, stuff like that. High resolution screen, we'll see what that looks like. 17 games included, all of them from Hasbro. Pretty cool, more than I would have thought we would get out of the box. Easy to store, portable design, removable legs, can be a game table or a game board. Water resistant surface, that's good because people are going to be setting stuff on this. It doesn't say if it's a resistive or capacitive touchscreen. So resistive is like the really old school smartphones. If you guys had a smartphone way back in the day, pre-iPhone, you'd push on the screen and it would measure that push. That's old school. Capacitive is where you just touch it and it's the electrical signal from your body actually activates it. Capacitive is a much better experience. And normally you would assume it's capacitive because that's what everything is that's modern. I just don't know how you keep the price down on a touchscreen this big to be one big resistive panel. Or sorry, capacitive panel. All right, so let's look at the important stuff, the pricing. $499 or more. Estimated delivery March 2021. Makes sense that they're not launching this for holiday. It's probably smart. 24-inch version. So it's $100 off the MSRP, which is $599. Free shipping, which is nice. Don't normally get that from Arcade1up, but you will have to pay sales tax on this, which if you're used to ordering from 1UP directly, you don't pay sales tax, I think, outside California. But don't quote me on that. So $500 for the 24-inch model, not a bad price if the monitor quality is at least decent. Normally $599 makes sense. It does come with the removable legs, so you get the full deal. And I mean, by the time this video is posted, these are going to be goners. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. There are only 9 backers, so there's 241 left. So there is plenty of time to get this. All right, 579 or more. Portable gamer 24-inch. What's that mean? So this is a $700 MSRP. 24-inch touchscreen with a battery included. Okay. So this one has no battery included. You got to plug it in, but you can pay a little extra to get a battery included. That is cool because for some people, not having a plug where they might want to put this would be a big deal. Giving us those options of do you want it standalone without a battery or do you want it with a battery? That's smart. So 3 to 5 hours. It's not a lot of time, but it's a lot of energy to power a screen that large relative to a smaller device. Not very often you see a 24-inch screen on battery. All right, 32-inch monitor, the big boy table. So that's gonna retail for $800. You get 100 off here. You pay $699, and this is without a battery. It looks like it's the full table, 32 inches. So the only difference is it's larger. It does say built-in speakers though. Okay, so they all have built-in speakers, and then they have a 32-inch version with a battery. That must be a pretty large battery. And all of this stuff is dropping March 2021. And so the high end of it is going to be $779 early bird, but $899 retail for the 32-inch with a battery. That is not bad. Again, if his monitor is pretty decent and it doesn't look super crappy washed out when you sit next to it trying to play it, then that in my mind that is a reasonable price. And hopefully the build quality is good. I mean, this is sort of a piece of furniture. You got these legs here. You don't want it to be all wobbly. These don't look like the kind of legs that you could adjust for height. You know, got news for you. Not everybody's floor is perfectly level. Even if you think it is, it may not be. And that's why things like pool tables allow for height adjustment. I don't see that here. But maybe this table's small enough that isn't a big factor. All right, so for $1,000 or more, join the Founders Club. You get your name entered into the board game credit section. So that's cool. I mean, it's always... when you're doing a Kickstarter like this, it's always a good idea to let your super fans buy in at that level. And then they've got other plans over here where you just buy multiple tables. So it's all the same product. So those are a lot of different product variants, really. You got the bottom line is you got the 24-inch with the 32-inch, and you've got battery or no battery on both. They all come with legs or not. Yeah, all right. Well, that looks like that's pretty much everything. Let's see if there's any funny comments. Is there a 1-year warranty? No response yet. It's a good question. Will there be more game announcements? Yeah, I bet there will be. That's going to be part of the fun, is seeing what games we can get on this. Be charged $50 for shipping, but that might just be an issue with Kickstarter. It's probably not a big deal. Only shipping to North America? Okay. And then, yeah, somebody kind of salty. You know, I think... I'm no Kickstarter expert. I've backed a few of them over the years. I think for this being a brand new offering, this is a reasonable amount of information. This isn't absurd. Yeah, I mean, they should move to tell us what games we get pretty quickly. You see in their promos, Battleship, Scrabble, Monopoly, I think those are all Hasbro games, not 100% sure. But, I mean, are all of those big name games going to be in that 17? Probably. I doubt they're really going to scrimp on the games, but yeah, they should probably... Oh, wait, let's look. Oh, they do have Ticket to Ride. Nice. So here's a list of games. We just don't know which ones are going to be included out of the box. But, I mean, these are big name games. Ticket to Ride. For kids, you got Candyland, Yahtzee. You know, everybody likes Yahtzee. Trouble. You got some classic board games that aren't licensed, that you don't have to license, like backgammon. That's a good idea. I don't know what golf is. Is that a board game, or is this like a little mini golf mini game? Bowling. Again, is that some board game or something? Maybe it's like a mini game that you could play. Yeah, I don't know. Looks interesting to me. Am I going to buy it? Probably not. I've got a lot of other money going into the arcade. I don't think I would buy this right now. Would I consider it in the future? Yeah, I think I would. You know, this is always something with the girlfriend or wife. It could be fun, or board games, and maybe they don't want to play the home arcades with you. If you got kids, certainly. For me, I would consider buying this in the future. I don't think I'm going to get in on the Kickstarter just yet. I'm just spending too much this holiday. One last thing, it looks like the bezel is what changes from the 32-inch to 24-inch. Looks like it's all the same table. You just get a bigger bezel on the 24-inch. Yeah, here we go. So there's the image. I don't know how to pause those images, but you can see that the bezel's really big on the 24-inch. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think below. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Hey, consider hitting that join button to support the channel, and thanks so much for watching.
Dripping